line, you are bounded yourself with the machine. That is assembling line work. And my earlier stage when I joined Acer, joined a train company, same thing happened. I also been treated myself like assembly workers because Acer's founder asked me, how do you help? How can you help the production manager to recruit the right people? If you don't know the assembly line, how can you fulfill your job? So I go to the assembly line, stand with the foreman, the supervisor, and walking through all the steps, each process. Then I know, okay, process 3 need 1 new people to sit in, okay, in next 2 weeks. And I got to find it because I need to tell what the job was doing. So it is very important for human resource manager. You cannot just sit in the office and ignore the true environment. Okay, that's a 1900, and the symbolic product is Henry Ford is invented the first T model. Model T is a symbolic representative of this time, 1990. Then 1920 to 30, it is during World War II. People start to focus understanding people because people is a human being. As a human being, we know we are human because we are differentiated with other animals, right? We can think, we can smile, we have our feeling. And surely dogs also can communicate each other. But we don't know the dog's language, right? Every animal supposedly have their human kind of nature. Human relations school was formed at this time. They starting to focus on understanding people. So psychology was being introduced to do the job. So at that time, the first name related to people was named for people for doing the job, personnel department. That is the first book I read when I studied. No, this is the second one already. When I work in Acer, I bought it in Malaysia, in Penang. It's personnel management. The focus on what? Not only payroll calculation, not just attending hours. They are more go to some welfare. And the training was included. Then we moved to 1940. It is about the ending of the World War II. Another very famous authors raised some issue about motivations. Because once you starting looking at the people, then you find the people have their own but very unique natures, which might differentiate with other animals. Then people have some basic needs. That's why Maslow's 5-level hierarchy need was named. And that time, 2-factor theory, hygiene factors. Keep yourself hygiene. Hygiene factor, 2 factors was also being raised at that time. 1959, I was just 3 years old. Then collective bargaining in the United States. The union members starting there become a pig is just after the World War II. The union become a major difficulties for employers because people start to realize they have their own rights. They start to thinking for personal, individualist right. So they form the unions, then the switch, the focus to labor relations. Then now, repeat, 1990, early of the 1990, it is just the code, a department just called administration, including, actually when we're talking about administration, it almost including everything excluded from production. So everything, you get just like general affairs, you have to handle everything. Then we have some focus on personnel management. Then we switch to labor relations. And you know, this is my majors when I studied at the university. The department name is labor relations, and the famous one is from Cornell University in the United States. Cornell University is very specialized in labor relations. And my major is labor relations. And at that time when I joined, I applied some of the American companies surrounding in north part of Taiwan. No HR department, they call labor department. So I still received the offer letter signed by the manager of labor relations. So you guys know that? Nobody knows, right? So you get to know some history, and you can get a chance to know the future. Then we come to more recently. This is the most influential book I read before. I can show you why I bring TSMC here. I bring Microsoft here. Because the majority serial being adopted by TSMC is through this book. It's Dave Urich, Human Resource Champion. Anybody read this before? No? Come on, go back to buy the book. I will show the whole series of the book written by. The first article was published in Harvard Business School in 1987. And since then, this professor is from Michigan University. Michigan University Human Resource Department, and one of his very famous students, Arthur Young, used to work for Asia's chief personnel officer, was his student, Dave Urich. And the book, talking about 3 points. One rule is you are a strategic partner. HR should be a strategic partner. Second one, you should become a very good change management person, agent. You should be an administrative expert, which that means if you are handling compensation, payroll calculating, attendance record, or design any salary benefit range, you got to have some very strong background understanding how to motivate people by your salary structure, by your pay philosophy. That is so-called administrative expert. Employee champion. It should be one of the good speaker on behalf of all the other unions members. That is the four main point highlight with this book. And this book has been published more than 30 years. The first book is first article was published in 1997, 97 or 96. And the book was published in 97, if my memory is still correct. Then let's move to year 2000. Just about your age, you're just born, right? Born at the right time, we have some good authors. Okay. Here, in conjunction of telemanagement become the mainstream of the human resource management theory. Performance management, everybody knowing KPI, right? If you don't really utilize it, but at least you heard KPI. KPI is very popular in Western country and also very popular in Taiwan, and they're being abused in China. Everything controlled by KPI. Yes, everyone got a KPI. That's basically the conceptual-wise correct. But the point is, do you pick up the right KPI? That's the real point. If you put your sayings, people often make this kind of mistake. If you advocate wrong decision, that will be fully exercised, executed down to the ground fully. You don't have the chance